Hi, how's it going? I'm Marlene, and thanks for wandering by. Um, I'm excited, as always, to hang out with you. And tonight, it's night where I am. Um, bring you two VRs that I've decided, again, mash up really well together. Um, and those two VRs, the first one is My Disheveled Decks, which was created by Anna at Astral Tarot. And the other is my top curiosity decks or curiosity cabinet decks. I'll make sure to have the correct hashtag in the title. That was started by Candy at Candy Soul and Soil. So yeah, I thought that these two are, for me, these two tags mash up because if you're new to my channel, hey, I'm Marlene. I'm a poet and a tarot reader. You'll find content here mostly around tarot, and we're heading more into the creative writing stuff as well. But so far mostly about tarot. If you have been here before and watched anything of mine, you'll know that I am new to tarot. I've only been reading for a little over a year now. So doing a tag about my disheveled decks is kind of funny for me because I haven't been reading for that long. However, these decks that I'm going to show you, I've kind of split them into two different categories. So the first few decks that I'm going to show you are disheveled decks because, well, disheveled and curious decks because they are decks that I got secondhand. And actually, well, all of the decks that I'm going to show you, I got secondhand. But the first half are ones that I purchased myself that were pre-owned, pre-loved decks. And then the second half I'm going to show you are decks that I inherited from my partner's mother and great-grandmother, from his family line. Yeah, so I've talked about those decks before, and if you're curious to know more about my partner's mother, she has passed away, and but she was a tarot reader, and I never really got to know her. She passed away not long after my partner and I started dating way back long time ago. But he inherited her decks and then passed them along to me. And so I have lots of stuff to show you from my mother-in-law as well as his grandmother, great-grandmother, because there's a tradition of tarot reading and card reading in his family. But yeah, so these decks are, so stick around for the whole video. I don't know how long this is going to be because the decks are going to get more and more disheveled as we go along, and then probably curiouser as we get further along too, because the second half of, or the idea of the curious decks for me is well summed up by, I think I was watching, yeah, it was Cosmic Creeper. I'll link to Cosmic Creeper's channel. They did the Curiosity Cabinet decks as well. For me, the thing about these secondhand decks that I like to think is it's a curiosity because they have a history inside them, within them, that is a mystery to me. First, because with the pre-owned decks, because I don't know where they came from, where they've been, and what they've, where they've been, and what they've been, what they did, and who they belong to. And so that's curious. That's how I think of a curiosity. For me, it's less about the thing itself and more about the story of whom it belongs to. And then, you know, the decks that I inherited from my partner's family are curiosity to me because there's so much that I never, you know, from his ancestry, right, and then and his mother, that I never got to know the answers to, and that's a curiosity, and it's so you'll see more as we get there. But so this is also this is a candle. Isn't that that's a curiosity? Like, where did she get this? This is definitely from my partner's mom. And it smells delicious, honeysuckle. Maybe we'll light it. But so yeah, so that's another thing that I inherited. And so, yeah, we'll get this started. I don't know how much commentary we'll have. Some of my, you know, disheveled decks are, let's see. Oh, well, it's going to be off camera. Who cares? So they are, you know, they are pre-owned decks. So some of it's a little bit disheveled, but they get more disheveled as we go along, like I said. Sorry, I'm going to take a sip of my drink. And I really, really try not to edit so you get to hear all that stuff. So let's start out with the very first deck that I ever purchased as a pre-owned deck. So like vintage decks, I guess, are getting popular. I don't know if they've ever fallen out of popularity, but you know, out of print or vintage decks that are hard to find for a reasonable price anyway, are, I think, having like a moment right now, and I'm here for that. I had been in search of a Thoth Greenie, and so this is a 1978 Thoth Tarot, and the you know, the box is pretty disheveled. I guess originally this cost $12. Wow, that's great. So I don't know how much, you know, I don't know the story of this deck, obviously. I wish I did. It smells heavily of incense. I mean, like really heavily of incense, like Nag Chamba, seriously. And here's the deck. Here are the backs. This deck is in like really, really good condition for a vintage deck. Although there are some like kind of chips and things along the sides. But, you know, really the most disheveled part of this deck is the box. And it's definitely, you know, like this was once white, and now, I don't know if you can tell, it's pretty yellowed, kind of brown. So I'll show you the deck. You can't really, there's really not like a lot of wear and tear, I would say. So I'm just gonna flip through. But yeah, I mean, it is my first pre-owned, pre-loved vintage tarot. Let me see if you can even tell some of them, yeah, I don't know. I was watching these disheveled decks, and like, I feel like the camera just doesn't really show the places, and you're like, you know, but it is. I mean, this is definitely in great condition. Obviously, that's why it has the resale value, you know, because it's still a very, very nice looking deck for being the age that it is. And like I said, the most disheveled bit of it is the box. But the curiosity of it for me is like, where did this come from? I wonder, like, I mean, I can't get the incense smell out of it. I've definitely had it out a lot. I'm sure you guys have tips and tricks for, you can hear me sniffing, have tips and tricks for things like that. But it's certainly, I mean, like, I've used my own incense over it. Love that card. Love that one too. I love this, everything about this, this artwork. Almost every single card, pretty much every single card. What was I talking about? The incense? Oh yeah, I imagined that it was like, I don't know, it sat on the shelf of a metaphysical store where it was just definitely like incense all day happening. Incense all day and all night in the place, or in someone's home where incense is used. But yeah, this is a very well preserved deck. I mean, it has a bit of a bow. I don't know if you can see the bow, but it definitely has a bit of a bow in it, because I'm sure it was shuffled like this, you know, the side shuffle kind of deal, which is how I shuffle it as well. So I'm just, you know, continuing that bow. So yeah, so the Thoth Tarot 1978 version, a greenie, which I'm very, very grateful to have. My first disheveled / curious deck. And then I also have a Morgan Greer Tarot. Now this deck, like the Thoth Greenie, is out of print. So that one is, you know, you have to go looking for it in like eBay and places like that. But the Morgan Greer, is not out of print. This is just the vintage version, this particular box. You can find it on Amazon. So I own the Morgan Greer Tarot in a tin, but I wanted to have the standard size, and I thought, you know, hey, why not? It's printed, this is the 1979. That's the year that I was born. So I just thought it was really cool. And just like the Thoth Greenie, this deck, really what's the disheveled bit is really the, in the box, you know, it's definitely yellowed in places, and it's, you know, but not bad, not too bad. And so here are the cards, and this is very well preserved as well. I don't think it got that much use. I don't know, you know, but you can tell kind of some of the wear on the backs of the cards. But for the most part, this deck is, like I said, very, you know, very well preserved. I absolutely love the Morgan Greer Tarot. It is a favorite. It is definitely a favorite. The tin version has traveled with me. That one is probably one of my most used decks. Although I don't know how much, you know, wear and tear in a year it would show. But you can see, like, this deck is really the most disheveled bit is the box, and that we know that it came, you know, that it's older. It's an older deck, so it's been around. It's been around somewhere with someone, don't know who. That's the mystery. I absolutely love this card. I love this. I love the High Priestess here too. But yeah, I mean, so, you know, it's really neat for me to have a vintage deck. Obviously, I looked for versions that were well preserved, so that I could, you know, I could use them and work with them. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if that's markings, but that's part of the artwork. So yeah, that's the Morgan Greer vintage version that I managed to snag, which this was for a pretty good deal. And so in that same vein, I was really, you know, obviously been interested in decks that were printed in the 70s, and I just really like that whole vibe. So I also have and found an Aquarian Tarot, And you can see this one's, you know, you can see how more beat up things are getting as we go along. But this is 1970, I believe. There's some, yeah, like some dirt there. And this is really cool because this is a 2-piece box set. Yeah, and it has its little white book as well. And let's put this guy up here. So yeah, this one definitely has more obvious wear, and like this one I feel like was definitely a lot more used than the Morgan Greer or the Thoth that I have. It's got, some of the cards have little bends and folds in them. Some of the cards have some stains, like something was spilled on them. Let's see if I can find one of those. I really love like how, like the white space in this deck, the borders. Yeah, you can see there's something there, and it's been bent a little bit too. I love the faces in this deck as well. Yeah, some of the cards they're very white, and some of the cards look a lot more yellowed, and then there's some like bends and folds in there. You can see this is definitely read with. And that's the curious thing for me, because I, you know, like to imagine like where, you know, did this happen? And this is like with people like my mom's age. Where did they do the tarot readings? Yeah, like I love how the faces in this deck, I'm talking about the deck artwork. I should just be talking about the disheveledness of it. But I love the faces for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, it's so curious to know. Yeah, there's some splotchiness there. So curious to know where this deck came from. And because I'm, you know, I like to make up stories and always have. I make up stories for myself about things like that. So yeah, this is the Aquarian Tarot. Oh, yeah, you can see there's like some, maybe wax or something was spilled here. I don't know if you can even see that. I love the flowers for the rods, the wand suit here. Oh, I think my candle's going out. So yeah, these are my vintage pre-owned, you know, disheveled decks. And so this last one, before I get into like the decks that I inherited, has a little bit of a story. So the decks that I inherited came from my my mother-in-law, and we recently moved. So I recently got it. It's been a while now. Oops, I'm dropping cards. That's me just picking up a card. So I'll show you. These are the Karma cards by Monty Farber. And so back to telling you about our move. So when we were moving and packing, I would find like one random karma card like somewhere. And I tried to collect them, but I only ended up with just like a few of them, and I couldn't figure out what the heck these were. And like I just kind of put it out of, you know, mind, and like I never got the full deck. And so then, I don't know, not too long ago, I think I saw on someone's channel, I saw these cards and this vintage version of it. I'm like, oh my God. And I was like telling my partner, I was like, oh my God, these are the cards. These are your mom's cards. These are the karma cards. And I need to have the full deck. And so I found it. I found a pre-loved, pre-used version. This is like huge, this packaging. Like I cannot get the whole thing on the screen in one shot. But look at this box that it came in. Karma cards. You're now holding a remarkable new age system of divination. Use it through the ancient wisdom of astrology. The karma cards will guide you through your daily decision making and help you to communicate wisely with your higher self. So this is, let's see, when was this published? Oh, I don't know. But it does have the full guidebook, which I started reading. And, you know, obviously somebody marked things in it. I was trying to figure out what they marked, why. But these cards are like really neat. And they are, so these are in pretty good condition too. There's some like bowing, you know, bending of the cards, but they have, so it has 12 planet cards. Let me see, I think I have them in order. 12 planet cards, 12 signs, and 12 houses. And so I've just started reading, you know, the guidebook. But you pull from, you know, one card from all three, and then the different colors. So like planet, sign, and house. And then these are spiritual, mental, physical. So then you read, so I believe the red is more like a question that has to do with like an action or mood. And then the blue is more of an outcome answer. So you would pull and you would say, remember the serving of others as if it or they came from God. Oh, I didn't know that this deck said God in it. That's interesting. Reconsider the details of the philosophies and laws involved. So it's really neat, and it has so the South Node, and then the depiction, Virgo, and the depiction of Virgo. And I know there's, oh yeah, because that has something to do with the Decan, I think. And it has the sign. It's really just, it's really, really cool. And I was so excited when I saw that, like, I could get this, you know, pre-owned for a reasonable price. And it is definitely disheveled. The deck itself is in pretty good shape. Definitely in better shape than the cards that I found, but some of them look darker than others. Definitely in better shape than the version that, or the random cards that I found. I think my partner said that his mom didn't really read with this that much, or he doesn't remember it. She thought it was kind of, it wasn't necessarily her thing. But yeah, you see how much darker that one is compared. But it could definitely have to do with the signs. I'm not sure. And now I've got them all out of order. But that's okay. Pretty cool, huh? And if you hear noises in the back, that's my partner in the kitchen. I don't know what he's doing. Flipping around in the kitchen in there. So yeah, the karma cards, I was so excited. And it just felt like I had all these other decks from her, and then I had this one that just, you know, like were pieces of it and weren't the full thing. And I really was so stoked and excited to get it. Okay, so we're going to move on to the inherited decks next. Okay, so here we go. So you guys, we have just a treasure trove of goodies here. This is the also inherited beautiful wooden box that I keep all of these decks in. So there's just like, ta-da-da. So let me put this aside, and then I'll slowly start taking them out to show you the Inherited Curious Disheveled deck. So let me start with some of the ones. Okay, so this is, I don't even know what this is. So historical set of 50 flower power ancient herbal remedy cards and booklet of ailments and cures. 50 different cards. I don't know. Ancient cures. I have not spent a lot of time looking at this one. The box is pretty disheveled. Let's take a look inside. I know if any of you know of this and are like, oh my God, that's the, so flower power. Let's see when this was printed. Some of these I've spent time looking at. I don't know if it's gonna give me, oh, a printing date. Nope. No. And I'm old, my eyes are old, so I don't know. Okay, let me show you the cards then. Which, these cards are pretty well preserved too. It's the box that's been through it. I'm assuming that this is from, 60s or 70s, but these are the cards. And it has, looks like the picture of the herb, the name, the family, and then what it's used for. Oh, and then it has lots of information on the back. Wow. So I guess this is more like informational than divinatory or oracle. Interesting. It doesn't look like she used this much. It just looks like it might have stayed in its box. And then just aged with time. Pretty though. Cool, huh? I don't know if I could find a use for it. I'm sorry if you hear that other noise. That's my dog who's in the background, probably licking his paws. So cool. That's cool. These are pretty pictures of these flowers. Neat, huh? Okay, so that's one. Let's see what else. Some of these I've definitely taken out and looked at. This flower power one, I know I haven't spent much time looking at. So let's see. So here is, let me see. Well, let me go with maybe a little bit less disheveled and one that I haven't shown yet on my channel. So here's the box, which I kept. I'm pretty sure that this is the deck, because this is the writer. It's a Wade Smith yellow box. Complete set of tarot cards with instructions. This is, I don't know, 1961. Yeah, 1961. Cool, huh? It just smushed it, And so this is a deck, a Smith. Yeah, it's definitely bowed and used and loved. And so Sean, that's my partner, his mom was, I don't understand why, because like the whole idea of a reversible back is that you don't know whether your card is reversed or not, right? So I guess she wanted to know when laying it down if it was reversed or not. So she wrote these arrows on the back, and she also wrote card meanings on the front all over. Oh yeah, and she definitely wrote on everything. Strong convictions, dark wise man, quick temper, loyal, affectionate, business math. Yeah, I talked about this before in my tarot generation gap, that the meanings of the cards, it's like so cool. This is the Eight of Cups. Fulfillment, modesty, fulfillment of a wish, modesty, timid, giving joy. That's definitely different. But yeah, I mean, this is a well-loved... The curious part for me is definitely the card meetings that his mom wrote. Well, this one is skill in craft and business, work with hands, success for project. That's definitely 8 of Pentacles. But isn't that cool? It's very cool. I think. All the words and things written on. And it definitely has a bow in it. I've never read with the decks that my mother-in-law like wrote her notes on. I don't know if she read with these. I mean, I guess she did, or if these were study decks. I don't know. Look at that. Knight of Wands, change of home, nervous energy, always in a hurry, 30s, friendly. Judgment, favorable judgment, renewal, change. Change of place, travel, success, emigration for the world. The Chariot, reconciliation, triumph, success after hard work. That's very curious. Okay, let's take a look at what the Fool, creative rebel, adventurer, adventurer, extravagance, excess, negligence. That's, well, negligence is right. The Magician, skill, diplomacy. That's the curious thing. Definitely disheveled. Definitely curious, you guys. Anybody else think so? I'm fascinated by these words on there. The words that she wrote. And it's such a mystery because I'll never get to ask her. But you can, you know, my musings or my speculation is about her generation. I think maybe if because I haven't spent a lot of time, maybe just a little bit of time looking at the pictorial key to the tarot, that might be the place where a lot of that, those meanings come from. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, let me look and see. So there's also, I'll show you, this is a very disheveled deck. Well, let me show you this other one first. You can't see because it's off camera. So here's another deck, Waite Smith. And this is a universal weight. I know because I also have a copy of the universal weight. So I'm assuming that this is from the 90s, maybe, that she was, and if you look, she colored so that she would know reversals. I can't understand why she would want to know if it was reversed when it was upside down. Maybe you guys that read reversals can give me a clue. Because I thought the idea was that you didn't want to know if it was reversed until you flipped it over. Right? Am I right about that? You guys let me know. But definitely this is a disheveled deck. This is a disheveled deck, huh? Because it's also been, this is definitely in better shape than the other Waite Smith, but I can see the use, and it's also bowed for sure. There's a bow in it. And then there's, I wonder, let me see if I can find the star and compare, because I have it right here, and compare what she wrote on these two decks. Okay, here we go. So this is from her universal weight, and this is from the original Rider Waite. So this says bright prospects, happiness, near royal through them, hope. Well, hope is definitely a keyword for the star. But look, this one says good coming love, good omen, hope, faith, insight, inspiration, fulfillment, royal CD. What? Guys, what? So upside down, disappointment, no hope, stubborn, bad luck. Upside down, frustration, illness, arrogance. These are, I mean, like, not, well, they're pretty different keywords. I mean, some of them are like in the same kind of keyword family, but some of these things are really different. Like disappointment and illness are different things. Isn't that so curious and fascinating? Like, I mean, I don't know how many different keywords. Drinking, look at that. Sorry, I can't help myself. I have not spent a lot of time looking at this stuff that she wrote down, but I'm so freaking fascinated by it that I just can't even. I need to like investigate and find out like where I think this came from, because it obviously came from different books or teacher. No, not necessarily books, but perhaps I know she had a mentor, or she had a tarot teacher that she worked with. Regrets, loss. Yeah, that makes sense. Regrets, loss, friendship without meaning. Huh. What is a royal? On the devil, royal? That's curious. So curious. So disheveled. So curious, you guys. I love her handwriting too. It's just so neat. I feel so connected to my partner's mom, who I never really got to know through the tarot. Like, it's just cool. All right, next one. Let me see, because I think I'm going to be heading into the territory of... All right, I'll do these two. I'll finish the tarot. So, the Hoi Polloi. This is not a complete set. This is missing the Emperor card. That's the one that's missing from this set. And I've shown this before. And again, we have the keywords. The keywords that his mom wrote. These are harder for me to read, but this is definitely, like, this is definitely a disheveled deck. Like, it's old, baby. It's worn. There's no box. Most of these don't have a box, but it is bent to shit. It was very much, I think this might have been her most used one. Like, look at the tape on this card. Would you look at that? Isn't that amazing? I love it. Like, I love that, like, you know, how much she must have used these cards. It's like there's tears and then of course the curiosity are her words that she wrote, the keywords or key phrases that she wrote. See, we're getting more disheveled, more curious. I wonder where that Emperor card ended up too. That's something, right? Oh yeah. The Knight of Wands, someone in their 30s. Always in a hurry. That's what she wrote on the other one. Always in a hurry. The Fool, okay. Inner forces propelling. Ooh, adventurous rebel. Creative, adventurous rebel. Regulation. Interesting. That's an interesting word to have on the Fool. Regulation. God, I can't even look at this. I love this High Priestess. There's definitely a printing. Like, you see how much borders on this side. Empress. I mean, I know how many people would want a copy of the Hoi Polloi right? And like I said, it's missing the one card. One card. Uses hand, successful new project, debts. You guys, what do you think? What do you make of that? Anyone making something of that? Oh. Look, oh my God, I didn't know this. Sorry, just freaking out. She wrote in the Emperor because, so it's been missing since, I'm kind of having a moment. It's been missing, I guess, since it's not just us, but she wrote in the Emperor card, Emperor for intelligent power, wisdom. Oh my God, I didn't realize that. That's really neat. That's, yeah, this is another of the, and then, oh wait, those are the, here are more of the cards themselves. Star, new way of life, inspiration, good, prosper, health. It's hard to read them. Oh my God, that's so wild about the Emperor card. Because I just assumed that we had lost it over the years and the moves and things like that. And then here are her notes on the blank cards. Cups. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's really neat. I didn't know that. That's really neat. Okay, let me put this over here and then show you the last tarot deck from my mother-in-law. Probably the most beat up one. This is the Astral Tarot, and it is a treasure to have. It is a complete deck. I'm precious for sure with this one, with these, because using them and reading with them would, you know, be pretty difficult, as you'll see, because some of these are just, you know, ripped, and so it's hard to imagine, you know, like some of them have some damage in the back, and I just don't want to mess them up even more. I just love that I have them. But yeah, this is the Astral Tarot. I believe I believe this is, you know, I'm not going to even try to guess. It looks like there's some schmutz there. And some of the backs are pretty, yeah, there's burn mark maybe. I did show you the sides. Yeah, I showed you. Yeah, it's, and her writing all over it again. Oh gosh, these are such a treasure though. Like this is clearly a pip deck. She had more room. Look at the Hierophant card. These are mostly just looking at her writing, and I was, well, I mean, with the Waite Smith, I know those images. These are definitely new images to me. There's some rips down at the bottom. The Chariot has, what is that? Like a duck, a duck, a toy? It's very strange. This is a curie. This alone, not with its disheveledness or even my mother-in-law's, you know, writing on it. This is a curiosity in and of itself, this deck, with its strange illustrations. Like, look at this Empress. That's beyond bizarre, right? I wonder if it's like that type of art where it's like a squiggle, like you draw the squiggles first and then fill in. You guys know what I mean? I don't know. I know nothing about art, so I probably shouldn't say anything like that. But yeah, let me just go through a little bit faster. I don't know if you're as fascinated as I am. Justice, it's very strange. Yeah, this deck has, and it's the Three of Swords too. Well, it definitely has seen better days. That Devil is freaking cool. Yeah, this one, the strength card is at. It's been through it. It's been through it, this deck. This deck has been through it. I wonder how much she used this one. I wonder how much she used all of them. I mean, like, I don't know if they got damaged in, like, moves or because they didn't get saved in their boxes, or if they got this beat up because of how much she read with them. I mean, I know she read a lot, and, like, was always reading for, like, the women in her neighborhood, and, like, she was, like, always on the PTA and things like that. Sean told me stories. But yeah, I imagine the very much kitchen table tarot, you know what I mean? And obviously I have, like, a bit of a romanticized version of it in my mind. So from there, we go into non-tarot decks, and I'm not sure if this was his mom's deck, or she inherited it from her. I believe it was her grandmother, not her mother, her grandmother. So Sean's great grandmother that was in that read cards. So this is the Book of Destiny, and I don't know. I really don't even know what this system is. I guess fortune-telling cards, playing cards. I don't know. I really don't. But there's this version in this set. 33 cards. I don't know when it was published. Let me see. This is the... And I guess it's in English and French. And it has the instructions. So if I wanted to learn, I definitely can. Since 1790... But I don't know when this was, printed. But these are what the cards look like. So these are very well preserved. So I don't know that she used these very much. These are the backs. I don't know if she used these very much. But these are cool, huh? They're very curious. This, and the disheveled was the box, really. These backs I love. My God, I love these. I don't really know if these are fortune-telling cards, but they're obviously connected to playing cards. So these are more modern. That's just a blank one, I guess, in there. A modern version of the Book of Destiny, which I don't know. Some of these have a little bit of wear. I don't know. These don't look like they were used that much. I'm not sure. But these, it seems to me to be the same system. And these, I'm pretty sure, belong to Sean's great-grandmother. And these, for me, are the same, right? The Book of Destiny fortune-telling cards. So these are unreal. Like, I have no idea when these were printed, but they have definitely, these are definitely disheveled and most definitely curious. I'm just going to go through each one here because this you'll want to see. If anybody really knows this particular divinatory system, please let me know. I'm pretty sure that these were written on, I feel like this was his grandmother, was his great-grandmother. There's like, looks like a little kid wrote in there. Not sure. So it has a number. I'd have to read the book. I'm assuming that book would work for this, but these are not. These are definitely. If this is a 33 card system, I don't have all 33 of this set for sure. I don't. And you can see, oh yeah, the numbers are going up, so you probably notice where things jumped. 29, 30, 31, that's where it ends. Inconstance, faithlessness. Oh, because it's in a coquette's gossip. That's French, right? But these are amazing, right? And I have no idea how old they are. And finally, I showed these as well in my Tarot Generation Gap. But these are blue Nile fortune-telling cards, and these are definitely from 1890 something, or beginning of 1900s. And this is definitely not a full set. And definitely disheveled and definitely curious. I'm not sure if this matches up with playing card divination that I hear people discuss, because I don't know how to do that. But I don't know if like these meanings are the same. Like I should ask Linda, Clementia's Cartomancy. I'll put a link to her. I know she just put a video out recently about playing cards, and she was taking a course. I wonder if they're the same. Like, look, this card has been sliced, but I still keep it. I think there's another one that's like that too. But yeah, this is, I feel like my voice got lower and I'm like whispering because I'm precious about this deck. You guys think this is really freaking cool too, don't you? I mean, if you're still here with me, it's because you do. And it certainly is not complete. I'm pretty sure that, look at that, it's like folded it. I don't even know what happened here. That's so bizarre, huh? But obviously these were passed down to Sean's mom. Yeah, the Nile fortune cards, U.S. Playing Card Company. I looked at this before. I think it's at 1890 something, or 1900 something, early 1900s. So yeah, let me see if I can stack some of these in here so you can see my cool cards. That we have here, these disheveled decks of mine, that I am so pleased that are part of my you know, my inheritance, my tarot life, right? My tarot journey. But yeah, thank you so much for sticking around to see these incredibly, increasingly disheveled and curious decks that have come into my life, pre-owned and purchased or inherited from my partner's family line. Yeah, thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you all have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye now.